Hey guys, Mr. Thaxton here. Hope all of you are having a great day. It is Wednesday, and I am excited to be with you today. I hope you are having a good week so far, and that you are ready to learn a little bit about the seven continents today. Like we started yesterday with CNN 10, every day we're going to watch CNN 10. Now, you're not going to have to write about CNN 10 every day. So, today, what I want you to do first, right now, is to pause me and to go to CNN10.com and watch CNN10.com for today. Of course, this is August 17th, but you'll be doing it for the 19th. And watch it and just kind of gain some information about what's going on around you in the United States and the world. So today, though, we are going to be looking at the seven continents. And at the end of this presentation, you'll be given an assignment. And that assignment will be pretty easy. You're going to be like, oh, Mr. Thaxton is the easiest teacher ever. But really, it's just to kind of get you familiar with some of the tools that we'll be using this year. If we're virtual or non-virtual, hopefully when you're back in the classroom. So let's get started. So today we're going to talk about the seven continents of the world. And we talked about this the other day that when we're dealing with the continents or maps, we want to look at what is around us so we know where we are. So if you look at it, a continent is a very large landmass. A continent is usually separated by water or other natural features like mountains. There are seven continents in the world. Say these repeat after me, these please. Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. And that's spelled differently because this slideshow is actually from England or even Australia, and so they write their name a little bit different, but this is Australia. So let's find out more. Here's a fact. Did you know continents only cover 29% of the Earth? The rest of the Earth's surface is water. That's why when you look at a globe, you see a lot more blue than you do green. And that's important because we need that to help with weather. And you'll learn all about that and the water cycle and all that stuff. It's important that we have a lot of water for resources. So let's learn a little bit about Asia. Asia is the biggest continent in the world. 2/3 of the world's population lives in Asia. Major countries include India and China. Not only are they large countries, but they have the most people in those countries as well. So that's an easy way for you to remember India and China. The Himalaya Mountains are the world's tallest mountains, are found in Asia. And the Dead Sea, which is the lowest point, is also in Asia. Asia is home of tigers, monkeys, and giant pandas. So just a little bit of information. And I'm sure if we were in class, you would be able to tell me a lot more about Asia. And we probably even have some students, some of your classmates might be from Asia as well. Next, Africa. Africa is the second biggest continent in the world. Africa has 54 countries, more than any other continent. Okay, so some of their countries are very tiny, maybe even as small as just the state of Alabama or smaller. Major countries include Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa. Africa has the longest river in the world, which is the Nile River. Africa also has the world's biggest non-polar desert, which is the Sahara. So non-polar means it's not cold. And it's in Africa. You will find giraffes, elephants, and lions. So I'm sure you have seen a lot of things about Africa as well. North America, where we are. North America is the third biggest continent in the world. It's made up of USA, which is us, and Canada. Pumpkin and corn originally came from here. So like when we talk about the explorers coming over here, that's the first time they ever saw pumpkin and corn. And so when they took that back to England or their homeland, that was a resource that they were excited to have now. North America is home of bears, moose, and skunks, as well as a lot more different animals. South America, right below us in North America, only has 12 countries. Major countries include Brazil and Argentina. The Amazon, the world's biggest rainforest, is found here. Tomatoes, potatoes, and chocolate are all from South America originally. South America is where you will find llamas, sloths, and jaguars. Now, one interesting thing about South America, Venezuela is in South America. I was fortunate enough as a high schooler to go to South America, go to Venezuela for a couple times because my uncle and aunt were living there. And these mountains are a great picture of showing how beautiful they are, for one, but also how high they are. So South America is really close to the equator. The equator actually goes through some of South America. But if you're high enough in the mountains, it can actually still be cold. You know, if you see mountains, sometimes you might see snow at the very top. That's even true when you're close to the equator, which I thought was interesting. So my uncle and aunt, they lived in a city that was kind of it was not on the top of a mountain, was kind of halfway up of a halfway up a mountain. And so it was like the perfect temperature. They didn't need air conditioner. They didn't even need heaters. It was kind of perfect temperature year round. If they went up a little bit on the mountain, it was really cold, where you could even be in snow if you're at the top. And then if you went down like 10, 15 miles, it was scorching hot, like 100 degrees. So I thought that was pretty interesting when I was there as a child. Next, we have Antarctica. Antarctica is the third smallest continent in the world. It is almost completely covered in ice, and it's surrounded by the Southern Ocean. It is the coldest and windiest continent, and each year hundreds of scientists live and work in Antarctica. But there's not really an official city or anything like that, just scientists working there a lot of the year. Antarctica is home of penguins, albatross, and of course some seals. Next, we get it to Europe. So we'll be focusing a lot on Europe and North America this year. Europe is the second smallest continent in the world. Europe has 44 countries altogether. Major countries include France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, which is England, Great Britain area. Apples, pears, raspberries all originally come from Europe. The majority of Australians have ancestors from Europe. And Europe is home of foxes, wolves, and bears. So we'll get to know a lot about that as well. And Australia is sometimes called an island continent because it's surrounded by water. The Great Barrier Reef, the world's largest coral reef, is in Australia. If you watch Finding Nemo, you should know about the Great Barrier Reef. Australian Aboriginal people first came to Australia more than 50,000 years ago. The continent nearest to Australia is Asia. Australia has many unique animals, including kangaroos, koalas, and emus. So, looking at this map here, without looking at anything, can you tell me where each continent is located? Let's start with the most common one, the one that we should know. Everybody point at the red continent. What is that continent called? North America, that's right. So North America, where we are located. Remember, we're right here where my mouse is. So that's where we are located, but we are in North America. Next, let's go to Europe, because those are two that we'll focus on. What color is Europe on this map? That's right, it's green. So you're looking over here, Spain is right here, England's right here, France, Italy are right over here. Those are some of the places we'll be focusing on. Just south of Europe, this yellow continent is Africa. That's right. So Africa is right below, just south of Europe. And just to the right of Africa and Europe, this large one if you remember back in the slides without looking back there, which continent was the largest continent? Here's your hint. Remember, China and India are in this continent. That's right, Asia. The answer is Asia. So this purple continent right here is Asia. And you see it has some of the islands down here as well. And we just saw that Australia, which is right here, the orange continent, is the closest continent to Asia. Or Asia is the closest continent to Australia. It's kind of by itself. Then we go down here, the very lowest part of the map, and it is where you see Antarctica. Remember, there's no one that really officially lives there, just scientists do some research there. And last but not least, going back kind of in a circle, we come to South America, which is right south of North America. And remember, the equator kind of goes straight across right here, which we'll talk more about that later. So that's just a little bit about the 7 continents. So what do I want you to do? If you go to your Schoology page for Wednesday, you're going to click on the assignment button, okay? Once you click on the assignment button, then you're going to, this will pop up. I lost it. Here it is. Your assignment, and you will, it says write the correct continent in the correct location. So here's what you don't want to do. You do not want to click this PDF right here. If you click that PDF, it will give you your own PDF of it, but you won't be able to write in it. That's why you need to open it with this site right here with Kami. When you open it with Kami, you're going to see the same PDF, but it's where you can write in it. So let's say all you're going to do is label it. We just went over the answer, so you should know it, right? So you're going to label it. You can do it by drawing it, just writing it in there with your mouse, or you can do a text box. If you do a text box, you just kind of do the text box right here, and then you could type it in. So I'll give you a hint for this green one we talked about. Spain is located in this continent. I spelled it wrong. I still spelled it wrong. Let's see if I can fix it. There we go. Put an E in there instead of I. So you see how it's not there? Then you can just drag it. And that's the question. You remember, you're not giving me a question. You're putting the actual continent, though. But anyways, so that's pretty easy to do. Once that's done, you just turn it in right here, and then you're done. Pretty simple there. That's a pretty easy assignment for this first of many assignments. So any questions that you have, just send me an email. You are doing a great job with learning how to do this virtual school. I'm very proud of you. I do miss seeing you every day in my classroom, but I look forward to the day we are all together. But until then, we're going to do the best we can in making this 5th grade school year the best for us, and to make sure we're learning everything we need to know for middle school. So guys, y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.